In grade 7 we are looking at the MYP unit question, what happens when empires collide? And in particular we are looking at the situation that involves Acadia, in that it used to be territory that belonged to the French Empire, was then traded to the English Empire, and of course the Acadians were caught in the crossfire of this war between empires. In the apprentice historian activities that we're looking at, which are critical issues analysis, we are looking at the various actions taken by the British government in relation to the Acadian people. And in this handout that the class has been given, there are three actions that the students are looking at. First, there is in each group one action to be considered. The forced to take the oath of allegiance group is the first action. The second group examines the seizure and destruction of property, and the third group, the deportation of the Acadians themselves. The overall question that we're looking at is question plural, is did the action produce the most good and do the least harm? Secondly, did the action respect the rights of all involved? Thirdly, did the action treat people equally or fairly? Did the action best serve the community as a whole? And would the action lead me to act as the sort of person I want to be? And again, we're examining the various actions taken in the case of the Acadians. In the first stage of our work, we are looking at, in various groups, whether we're looking at the action as a whole, what happened, and what particularly occurred in specifics. And there are a series of steps that you will be examining in order to find as much information about the topic as possible from the handout, also from the textbook information that is available, and finally any other information that you might find in your own personal research. In the handout provided, you will be analyzing the process, which starts with step 1, describing the current situation, providing background information that helps explain why the issue has developed. And again, all the information is in the handout, but it is also included in your textbook and again in the independent information that has been provided on the internet that we have spoken about in class. Step 2 asks you to summarize the position of the two sides. State what each believes to be the right way of handling the issue that has developed. We have to remember that when we're analyzing things from an historical perspective, that there are at least two sides. So we want to examine the actions in Acadia from the side of the British who made the decision, and secondly, from the point of view of the Acadians who were affected by the decision. The third step asks you to identify and explain the arguments for the yes side, and the yes side in this particular situation would be yes, the actions that were taken, the three actions that were taken, were correct. Step 4 asks you to identify and explain the arguments on the no side. And the no side, of course, is taking the position that the arguments or that the actions were not fair or were not correct. Cite evidence to support each side. For each side, there are arguments presented that have specific facts or claims. And again, there are in the handout articles that help you find more facts and information about the topic. Step 6 asks you to identify and explain the courses of action. State the possible solutions of the issue that were presented, not perhaps just the action that was taken, but what are the options. Step 7 asks you to identify and explain the final decision. State the decisions made by the government and provide the reasons for the decision. And then in the final instance, you are to, at step 8, personally evaluate the decision, state your own opinion about the final decision. And you're going to do that alongside your group members about the issue of the deportation of the Acadians, the seizure and destruction of property, and whether they should have taken the oath of allegiance that was asked to them by the British government. Good luck, amateur historians.